Chapter 21. We start off as we see a woman notice someone typing really fast on their keyboard. We see that it's the MC's mother typing really fast. The woman tells her that she looks kinda happy today. The mother turns around as she looks confused. The mom asks her if it was really showing on her face. The woman replies and says, "Of course, I can feel the aura of happiness radiating from here." She continues and asks the mom if she's thinking about a nice gentleman. The mom replies and says, "If you're asking if he's a good guy, yes, he's a good guy." The mom smiles and says that she and her son are getting along well lately. Hearing this makes the woman think that it's just her son and congratulates the mom. The mom looks pleased and smiles. The woman walks away as she says, "Then I guess you'd want to go home early, but don't forget about tonight's drinking party, okay?" The mom replies and says, "Of course." As she says this, she suddenly remembers her conversation with her son. She remembers telling him that it's not too late to start over and that she will make things right. She starts worrying as she thinks that it's running out, but they still have some time. She looks worried as she says, "Everything's going to be okay, right?" Now we see the MC looking into a plastic bag as he looks concerned. We see that he's looking at a bunch of peaches as he wonders if he bought too much. He thinks that he accidentally listened to an old man's story and ended up getting a special favor. As he recalls this, we see the old man crying as he tells the MC to take the peaches as he sits there. He recalls this and thinks that he bought too much, or rather received too much. As he looks at the peaches and says that no matter how he looks at it, there are way too many for just a family of 3. As he's saying this, we see someone ride up on a bike and greet him. He turns around and sees that it's a woman on the bike. He gets cautious and tells her that they're good on female thieves, so he'll pass. As he says this, the woman removes her helmet and says, "That's terrible, Yukito-kun." As she removes the helmet, he sees that it's Himiyama. She looks all sexy and hot as she says, "You called me a thief." The MC looks at her and thinks that this is far from her usual image, and says, "You can ride a motorcycle, huh?" She replies, and tells him that she wouldn't say that it's a hobby, but she always liked driving. But cars are difficult to maneuver and can become inconvenient. She smiles and tells him that next time she'll prepare a helmet for him too. She's always dreamed of touring with 2 people, so she's really looking forward to it. He gets worried and says, "Why do I feel so anxious about that?" She puts a sexy pose and tells him that it's okay, even if he dives on her. Hearing this from her makes him say she must be a female thief after all. She looks at the MC's hands and asks him what's that in his hand and that it looks heavy. He asks her if she would like to have some cause his family won't be able to finish all of these. She asks him if that's okay, and tells him that they should eat these together at home then. Hearing this makes him scared, as he thinks that he let his guard down. Now he'll end up going to Himiyama's house again naturally. He thinks that now that it has come to this point, he has to lie to get out. He bows down and apologizes to her and tries to say that he's busy, but he screams, "I don't have any plans." Hearing this makes Himiyama very happy. The MC beats himself and says that he's such a stupid, honest idiot. Now back at her house, we see her peeling the peach as she tells the MC that she met her older brother. Apparently he's getting married, so they met for the first time in several years for him to announce the news. But even on occasions like this, it seems like there's hardly any time to relax. The MC congratulates him and asks her what kind of job he has. She replies and says that you could call it government work, but everyone in her family is excellent except for her. The MC tells her that's not true, but she immediately says, "Nope." She becomes serious and tells him that she's the only one who can't move forward. She's been stagnant for years. The MC replies and tells her, "We're the same then." His mother and sister are both excellent, and he's the only one who's incompetent. Hearing this shocks her. She immediately goes to him and comforts him by saying that it's not true. He's always trying his best after all. Seeing her worried face makes the MC think, why is she always so concerned about him? He thinks that no matter how hard he practices basketball, if he can't play a match, it's meaningless, and studying hard is pointless. It's just a way to fill in serious gaps in his school report card. There's no plus side to it, just constantly covering up the negatives. Even romance is like that. He admired people in a simple way, but he ended up feeling drained from interacting with them. He wonders if Himiyama-san feels the same too. As he thinks this, we see Himiyama apologizing to him for telling a boring story and tells him that they should start eating. He looks at her and questions himself. Has he by chance met Himiyama-san before? From the moment they met, her intimacy was off the charts. Even he felt a little uncomfortable. If so, then why is Himeyama-san treating him like it's the first time they've met? He questions himself if he can't remember, or does he not want to remember? Himeyama-san may have been a part of his forgotten past. He sits there thinking seriously. He has to forget the painful past. If he doesn't erase it, he wouldn't have been able to keep himself together. He squeezes his hands together and thinks that trying their best, just living in the present, is the best they can do, so they continue to pretend not to know each other. As she sits next to him, he thinks that surely is the only right answer. Now we see Himeyama-san eating the peach with great joy as she tells him it's delicious. Is it okay to have this much? He looks awkward as he tells her that it's okay because he got some extra for free from the vendor. He quickly grabs more peaches and thinks that he has to focus on eating the peaches. No matter how seductive it looks, under any circumstances, he shouldn't eat the peaches next to him. As he averts his gaze from her peaches, he tries to talk about celestial peach. As she sticks to him, she says, "Celestial peach? I wonder if it was a peach that was eaten by a hermit. I think this is just a normal peach, though." As the MC sweats, he thinks, "In this season of thin clothing, those soft upper arms pressed against me feel beyond peaches. They're like celestial peaches. Or rather, even the sensation of the front is being directly transmitted." As he munches on the peaches, he thinks that he can't taste anything because of the tension. Himeyama sees his troubled face and asks him what's wrong and why he's drenched in sweat. He replies and tells her that he was just thinking about this outrageous peach. Hearing this makes her laugh. She continues and says, "By the way, Yukito, do you like late harvest peaches?" He replies and tells her that he likes all kinds of peaches. Hearing this makes her happy and say that she's glad that he's okay with fully ripened peaches because most people like them younger. Hearing this makes him worry and sweat more as he says, "Hold on, was that a sneaky, misleading question?" She leans into him as she grabs his arm and tells him that he can eat her peaches anytime. He starts panicking and stutters, "Isn't this strange? It's just before dinner, but I'm still full." He escapes her grasp and jumps away. As he's breathing heavily, she looks at him and says, "Too bad, but there'll be another chance." Suddenly, she has a bittersweet expression as she says, "After all, we've been able to meet again like this?" Now we see the MC back at his house. He looks confused as he looks at something. We see that he's looking at his sister sleeping on his bed as he asks her, "Isn't this his room?" She replies and says, "I know that, though." Hearing this makes him say, "Your anger and defiance is so brazen." She thanks him for saying that. He tells her that he's not praising her, though. As he's talking to her, he thinks that for whatever reason, his sister is chilling in his room again today. She's so confident about it that he almost mistook her as himself. His sister is extremely overprotective. She seems to be under the impression that he's a 3-year-old or something. As he's thinking this, he suddenly notices something. He looks at her cheeks and gets surprised that she's wearing booty shorts. He panics and covers his eyes as he asks her if she thinks that she can throw him off with that revealing outfit and calls her a succubus. He asks her why she's wearing hot pants. She suddenly jiggles her tits as they do the jiggling. She tells him that her breasts have gotten bigger again. He turns away and tells her that there's absolutely no opening for him to intrude on the girls-only discussion. She adds in and says that she also needs to get a new bra. She suddenly lifts her shirt up and tells him that they should measure her tits later. Seeing this shocks him. He turns his head around more. As he's doing this, he thinks that his sister's reckless behavior knows no bounds. He tells her that he'll just ask for reference and asks her what cup size are her breasts. She smugly tells him that they're F, but it would have been better if they turned G. Hearing this surprises him. He asks her in what way would that make him happy. She smiles and tells him to look forward to it, to which he celebrates. She asks him if he has any dirty books, and that she didn't find any under the bed. He replies and says that even her words and actions are like a succubus. She gets close to him and tells him that she's gonna suck him up and calls him a punk. He gets scared and asks her what will she suck. Suddenly the telephone starts ringing. He takes this chance and runs out his room. As he picks up the phone, he hears someone say, "I'm not the chief, I'm Uka-san's colleague. Are you perhaps Yukito-kun?" She tells him that she wants him to pick up his mom from the station. She tells him that she wanted to take a taxi, but his mom didn't tell her if she wanted one, because she's drunk and passed out. It's dangerous for her to go home alone like this. He tells the colleague that he understands, and that he will head there immediately. As he's going, he thinks that it's rare for his mom to get drunk, and wonders why he was asked to pick her up. Now we see him at the station, running towards them as he apologizes for making them wait. As the colleague is supporting the mom, she introduces herself as the mom's subordinate, and her name is Hiragi Haruka. The MC thanks her for bringing his mom there. Haruka tells him to not worry about it. It's the chief's request after all. Also, there's something she wants to talk about with him. Hearing this confuses the MC. Haruka takes him to the side and whispers to him that his mom is usually not like this, but she was in a good mood today and drank too much. The mom said that she was happy to be able to make up with him. Hearing this makes him say, "Is that so? We weren't fighting or anything, though?" Haruka suddenly looks at his mom and asks him, "Isn't she beautiful?" The MC agrees with her and says that even as her son, he does find her fairly attractive. Haruka replies and says that's why the chief is so popular. Today was a tough day because all the guys came over. He apologizes to her for the inconvenience. She replies and says, "That's fine, but let me put it in another way. I'm sure this is something Yukito-kun doesn't want to hear. There are a lot of people aiming for the chief." He gets shocked as he hears this and looks at his mom. He asks her if she's talking about remarriage. Haruka looks disappointed and tells him that it would be nice if it was a serious relationship, but they all are just aiming for her body. Hearing this about his mom makes him uncomfortable and scared. Haruka continues and says that people make inappropriate advances or try to take her home, but he can't ignore the fact that the chief's beauty is a problem too. He looks angry as he says, "That doesn't sound very pleasant." Suddenly she tells him that that's why he has to make sure to protect her properly. His mom is usually pretty strong, so it's fine, but that kind of thing might happen. As he sits there and supports his mom, Haruka tells him that she's sure that he's the only one the chief can rely on. The MC looks serious as he says that if his mom plans to remarry, he won't object. Of course, he doesn't want her to only have a physical relationship with others. Haruka thinks a bit and says, "I don't think that's what she intended." Hearing this confuses him. Haruka tells him that the chief is always thinking about him. Haruka thinks of how the face his mom was making before when they talked about him, but tells him that there's nothing more she can say and goes home. As she goes away, she tells him to please keep a close eye on the chief. As she says this and goes, we see the MC sitting there as the mom is all comfortable with him. Now we see the MC and the mom walking home. She apologizes to him for the inconvenience. He tells her not to worry about it. As the mom is taking his support and walking, she asks him what was he talking about with Haruka earlier. Before he could say anything, the mom gets angry and asks him if she confessed her feelings to him and that she won't tolerate anything like that with her subordinates. He looks tired as he tells her that people won't just confess to someone they just met for the first time. The mom looks angry as she asks him how can he be sure and that he has hypnotic mystic eyes. Hearing this confuses him as he says that this is the first time he's heard of it. She pouts and asks him why is he so popular then? He tells her maybe because he's her child. Hearing this confuses her. He tells her that she is popular too. She tells him that she's already old, so that's not the case anymore. He replies that Haruka mentioned that she's super popular with the guys at work. That was kind of uncomfortable for him. She laughs and apologizes to him for making him feel that way. As she's leaning on him, she tells him that she doesn't usually do this, but she drank a bit too much today. In the end, men who came at her in this kind of moment, they'd totally go for anyone. He replies and tells her that he won't object if she wants to remarry, but he doesn't want her to be with someone like that. She tells him that she doesn't even want that kind of sex friend type of partner either. Furthermore, she doesn't have any intention to remarry. He asks her why. She tells him that she already has him after all. He tells her that doesn't explain anything. Suddenly, she cheers up and hugs him as she tells him that it's fine and that's enough to make her happy right now after all. As she's hugging him, her breasts press onto him. He tells her to not move too much as something soft is hitting him. She laughs and tells him that they should take a bath together when they get home. Hearing this shocks and scares him. He thinks that his mom is seriously overbearing sometimes. He's not 3 years old anymore. He suddenly tells her that his sister's breasts have gotten bigger again. They're now G-cup apparently. The mom proudly puts her chest out and smugly tells him that it's still her win then. Her breasts are H-cup after all. Hearing this makes him say, that was quite the bombshell, but is there really any need to compete with her? The mom hugs him once again as she tells him that she'll show them to him later while taking a bath. He can also touch them if he likes. As she's hugging him, he thinks that she's definitely drunk. He notices that she's hugging him for too long and calls her. She suddenly grabs onto him tighter and starts shaking as she tells him that she wants them to be touched by him. Hearing this confuses him. She repeatedly apologizes to him and screams, "Because you're too kind." She tells him that she had an abnormal result on her breast cancer screening. It might be malignant. Hearing this shocks him. He thinks that his mom was in a lot of pain after seeing the test results at that time. She breaks down and starts crying as she tells him that she wasn't planning to tell him until she knew for sure, because she knew it would just cause him to worry about it unnecessarily. But she couldn't do it. She's too weak. She tells him to please come with her to the hospital. She won't be scared of anything if he's with her. She begs him to please give her courage. He looks at her and tells her, "Of course, I will come with you." As she cries, she screams that she's scared and hugs him tightly. As he hugs her, he thinks that the fact that his mom is relying on him like this, does it mean he's truly considered part of the family now? Either way is fine, if it helps her lift even a bit of weight off her heart. As long as he's able to lend a hand, he'll do whatever he can. She's his precious family, after all. Now, back in the house. After they reach home, we see the MC looking troubled as he asks if this is what a family looks like. Now, we see that his sister and his mother are throwing their assets at him, while they surround him and eat peaches. He covers his eyes and once again says, "Celestial peaches," like before. The sister hears him and says, "Celestial peaches? What are you talking about? Aren't these just ordinary peaches?" The mom looks at him and says that cold peaches are the best after drinking. They're so sweet and delicious. He looks at both their celestial peaches and thinks that in this season of light clothing, not only peaches, but also celestial peaches are on his upper arms. He's so nervous that he can't taste anything. He munches on the peaches and wonders if the peaches are tasty. He still can't fully appreciate them. He thinks that this is the same situation as earlier. They're definitely conspiring. They're probably planning how to tease him. He asks them, can something be done about these outrageous peaches? They act oblivious and ask him what's the matter and what does he mean. He suddenly acts like jumping on them as he says, "If that's what you're up to, I'll just eat them up in one go, the same way I did when I was with Himeyama-san." Hearing that name makes the mom and sister snap. The sister asks him, why did that woman's name come up? The mom asks him, what does he mean by that? Did something happen between him and Himeyama? The MC looks at them and gets scared as he thinks that the mouth is indeed the source of trouble. It even ignited an unnecessary rivalry. Suddenly they jump on him as they show him their assets. The sister tells him that if he really wants to eat that badly, he should eat her peaches instead. Old women are already out of season. The mom tells him that the unripened ones are too bland in taste, so they're not worth it. They cling onto his arm and shove it between their tits. He tells them that's just a figure of speech as he trembles. The sister tells him that she'll make sure to not upset his stomach while the mom asks him if he actually enjoys it. Now, somewhere else, we see a girl telling her dad that she has something to talk to him about. As she's talking to her dad, she thinks that she will definitely help Mitsuki. She will get that vile man out of school. The man in question here is the MC. And this is how this chapter ends. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.